In that old curiosity shop.いや子が恋し早く行きましょう。帰りたいはあなたにぎやかなバッツンボー、指輪と飾りとバッツンボー。あれのは嫌よ、都が好きよ。女はドレス粋なもの、男はみんなスマートなバッツンボー。
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the dining room table of the 1925 bungalow. I'm Scott. Now, one thing you're going to have to get used to is that snake plant wandering all around the house, because I just want to keep you guessing. It's kind of like Where's Waldo? You're going to have to tune in each time to find out where has he moved that snake plant now. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out exactly where I want it to be. No, that's not where it's going to be, but that's where it's going to be right now. Don't you tell me that I sell, just my good stuff in my live sales? That's all in the eBay store, and it's in there right now. You probably only have about 6 days left for most of these items. I think a couple of them, they're going to end tomorrow. So the link to the old Curiosity Shop eBay store is in the description box right underneath of this video. And everything here is up for auction, and you can go check it out. You'll get measurements, full descriptions of condition, better pictures, and so forth. Maybe you'll find something you want to add to your collections. I'm calling this, we're getting ready for spring. Now, it's late February, and here in the Northeast, we've had not a bad winter. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more snow than we got. We really didn't get much at all. But hey, we could always get slammed, and sometimes we do in March. I want you to look forward to doing beautiful decorating in the springtime, and so almost everything here has a sort of spring feeling, yeah? Well, almost everything. So what have we got? We've got a nice little serving platter here made in Japan in the 1930s. And we know these holes are always where handles used to be. They fall off. I believe you can go and find things at craft stores. There's the Made in Japan mark on the back. I've seen people even put ribbons through there. Leave it like it is or craft yourself a ribbon for it. It's got crazing on it, but it's not chipped or cracked. And it would be lovely for you to serve your pimento cheese sandwiches on. I love these little Czechoslovakian bud vases, flower vases here. They're so delicate in color, and it's such a soft palette. He is chip or she, chip or crack free. And we've got the Czechoslovakian. Now this is pottery, and this was made in the 1930s. No damage, no repairs, no problem. Now that little thing, whatever it is, parakeet, tweet, is ready for you. And put some little buds in there, little flowers in there. Put that in your kitchen windowsill. Your grandmother had one. Your grandmother probably had a piece of Hull pottery, Hull, there it is. They made some nice stuff. And this is the woodland pattern, I believe is what they called it. And it's a very shiny glaze. This is a little, I guess you call it an ewer or a pitcher. I always get those confused as to exactly what they are. But what is that, about 6 inches tall. And that handle was just begging to be broken, and it never was. And so there's no repairs, no chips. Well, it's 6.5, 2 inches tall. Yeah, they always marked it on the bottom, and you can see there that the 6.5, I don't know whether you can see it or not, but it's there. I don't see any crazing on the piece. It's good American pottery from the 1940s. This egg probably is from the 60s. It's hand painted and unmarked. It has no damage, so I think a lot of us are familiar with those. We've seen those before, and that's about 6 inches tall as well. D-handled mugs made by Anchor Hocking, stamped Fire King on the bottom. That's the real thing. And that blue Delphite one over there ain't so easy to get your hands on. It seems as though we find more in the jadeite than the Delphite. These two are together in one auction. And you've got the old Fire King mark on the bottom. These are both in good condition. They're not all torn up. They're nice and shiny. They haven't been murdered in the dishwasher. Hello, little frog. We'll do this box in a minute. That is adorable. Now, you say, oh, that must be McCoy. Well, it's not marked on the bottom, and I want to tell you that I was talking about this the other night. Just like the glass companies, the American pottery companies imitated each other. And more than one pottery company produced a little frog hugging, sort of like on a lily pad, hugging a lotus flower or whatever you want to call it. And it's sometimes difficult to tell which company made which one. So we're just going to say something from the 30s and 40s and an American company that would have made this. The condition is wonderful without any chips or cracks. There's light crazing, which we expect to see on this old pottery, but lovely. I like the colors. They're soft for springtime. And we've got more frogs in the back. We've got 3 more frogs we're going to get to in a minute. There's a flower pot back there with an iris. No. Is that an iris on there? I don't remember. And you know what? Now I can't even remember. You don't have to tell me in the description box because I do know who made this. It's actually in the auction listing. It's just that it is escaping my mind at the moment, whether it was Shawnee or Hall or whoever it was. But it's, as I said, you can go and look that up in the description box and you'll see. Right now I can't remember. It says USA on the bottom, and it's really sort of a light peach color. It's a planter, pottery, and it has no damage on it. Yeah, it doesn't have any chips or cracks on it. This wonderful little box here has flowers on it. We've seen this a few times, and this is old. We open it up and it says Brooks Sewing Cottons. Look at the cotton mill. And it had threads in it at one time. It has a beautiful little latch on the front. And this is going to be probably, back to 1900 or so, 1905. That's an old one. And you would expect to see a little bit of loss here to the paper decoration that's on it. And so it has come off in a few spots, but mostly intact. Respectable condition, we would call that. And we even have some of the old label on the bottom. The measurements, once again, are in the descriptions when you log on to the eBay store. And you know, if you are not subscribed to my eBay store, you can do it. It costs you absolutely nothing. I don't get any personal information about you when you do that, but what it does is it enables you to click a little special thing, and anytime I list things in the eBay store, you'll know. So people say, well, I don't know, are you going to sell it in a live sale or in your eBay store? Well, subscribe to the eBay store and you'll see, you'll know, I don't know if you'll be the first to know, but you'll get a heads up. That rooster I know is ending maybe tomorrow. He's already been listed for a while, and I don't know why I threw him in for springtime. Do roosters do anything special in the spring? Well, I guess a lot of animals, I think a lot of animals do something special in the springtime. But Mr. Rooster is in excellent condition, and he has no damage, and he's unmarked on the bottom. There are no repairs, no chips or cracks. Typical paint loss to his wattle and comb, because the red paint, this was fired and then they painted the red on after the firing, and it does chip off. But he's a nice one, and he's 7 inches tall. A couple pieces of depression glass back there. We won't get into that. Some cream soup bowls. You can go and a little look them up if that's something that you collect. This is a McCoy teapot, a lovely Art Deco style teapot, and look at those flowers on the front. If you're not a fan of those flowers, but you like the Art Deco style, well, just turn it around, and you've got a very modernistic looking teapot, 30s and 40s. And it is damage free. We don't have any, even down here, there's no problem. It's nice and clean if you'd like to use it. And it is marked McCoy on the bottom. Did I say McKay a minute ago? I'm always getting my words. Anyway, it is McCoy. Not sure why I put that clock in there, other than at some point we're going to be turning our clocks, right? Fall back, spring forward. The Big Ben clock, I think, only has maybe one more day. It works beautifully. I'm guessing it's late 70s, early 80s. It's not running right now because it has wound itself down. But that does, the alarm goes off, and it's the old-fashioned kind of ding, 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 ding. You know, that obnoxious alarm that makes you get up and go to school. I think the winner on the table has to be these frogs. I had to pop on this when I saw it. I've never seen this one before. Doesn't mean that it's rare. It just means I've never had a chance to have this one. Look at that little frog family, and everybody seems to get a kick out of this, thinking that the mama and the papa have just had it with this little baby frog. I don't know whether he's hungry or whether he's just screaming. But they seem to be exasperated, as if they would like to go out on a date and maybe they need a babysitter. Maybe the rooster can come and babysit that frog. No damage. No cracks, no chips, no repairs, and it's not even crazed. Look at the condition of the glaze. These things made in Japan, I'm not really focusing, so hold on for a second. There we go. These things made in Japan are usually heavily crazed and stained. We'll turn it around. You can see that it's a full planter. Now we do see on the top of his head there's some crazing there, and that's normally what you see all over the piece. But for the most part, there's very little crazing on it. I will turn it upside down and let you see. That's the 1930s made in Japan mark there. Not really a Majolica glaze, but close. Anyway, that is adorable. And if you're a frog person, that's it, ribbit. Love them. Wouldn't he be funny with a daffodil stuck down in his mouth? That'll keep him quiet. Now let's get this rooster out of the way. I also love this milk pitcher for the breakfast table, made in Japan. Look at that. Now that's a Majolica glaze. There's the crazing. We see made in Japan underneath. And but no chips, no cracks. Look at all the little bugs. At least they're not mosquitoes yet. We have horrible mosquitoes in New Jersey. Our mosquitoes are so big they have shoulders. And then you turn it around and you've got all these little butterflies and things. Look at that. Looks like an English garden. Do whatever you want with that. You can even stick a plant in it. Put your breakfast orange juice in there, and that would brighten up the springtime breakfast table. We have a piece by McCoy over here. This is a planter, and it is fantastic. It's an early McCoy piece. Now, this was not expensive pottery when it was new, so you're going to see glaze, skips, and whatnot, but what I like is we don't have chips on these petals. They are roughly made that way. And what looks like a big hunk out of there, and a hunk out of there, and a hunk out of there, that's the way those petals were sculpted and designed, because as we look, we see there's no glaze that is missing. Or rather, the glaze goes all around the edges. Yeah, see that? There is one tiny flea bite on the back of one of these leaves, and it's right about there. You can't or even hardly feel it or see it, but this is not a chip out of there. That's how those leaves are designed. This had some heavy use. We can see it was used. And back here, let's see, we've got some areas where you'll see that that's just manufactured right there. Where the glaze didn't sort of fill in, you got those little bubbles. But that's it. There's the McCoy on the bottom. And this was inexpensive Depression era pottery. And all those little, what look like cracks, those are just little surface glaze cracks that you get in this old pottery. But it's a good sound piece, and it's pink, and it's got yellow flowers on it, and it's ready to go to your house. We have 3 more pieces back here, and I think, what am I going to do? I guess I'm going to come this way. Hold on for a moment while I rearrange my infrastructure. We'll get over here, and we have a piece of, I believe, I do remember that this is Hull. She could be painted in different ways. I believe I remember that it's a piece of Hull art pottery. Once again, you can go check out my auction, and it'll tell you for sure. Looks like it's from the 40s. She's got a pink hat, which is cold painted, and the paint is chipping off of her bow and her dress, because that's all painted after it comes out of the kiln. Even her hair is all painted. And sometimes you'll have blue bonnets and blue ribbons. You get different colors. But what's wonderful about this planter is it's not, I guess, look, there's a chair here. Why don't I sit myself down? Whew, okay. She is not chipped or cracked or broken. She has no repairs on her. And you can imagine how that handle over the years could have easily been broken. All right, so we'll just, yeah, and that's a nice big planter. She looks very happy. Let's put her back here. And we'll do 2 more pieces. We have a nice, this is probably from the 60s, this big lotus glass bowl in milk glass. And I don't remember, it is Westmoreland, very good. And that's a nice, that's got to be 12 inches across. So that would be nice. I would fill that up with potato salad for Easter dinner. And lastly, we have a charming little chalkware. I'll turn around so you can get better lighting. A charming little chalkware piece. Could have been a prize at a fair, but very well could have been bought in a dime store in the 1940s. Look at that face. She went out picking flowers. Now she's chalk or plaster. I guess she's plaster, and we can see there's a chip underneath of her dress, which could be repaired or can't really be seen. There is damage above her ankle. We can see the metal rod on the inside, which gives stability and strength to the piece. That's a chip, but she has not been broken and re-glued. There are a few little stress cracks there, but again, as I said, she's all in one piece, and she never fell apart and then was put back together again. We got a little something going on at the top of her head. That's probably also a piece of wire on the inside where the paint has worn off. It feels like it anyway. So really for chalkware, she's pretty and in, I think, pretty good condition. So we'll spin her around again. And she's just screaming springtime. Okay, that's my springtime, but there's gonna be even more. I've got glass baskets I'm working on that will be filled with jelly beans, and I've got some milk glass lamps and some other springtime items. And I'm also busy curating another great big art deco. Well, let me give you a sneak peek, just a sneak. Let's go over here and look at the top of the china closet. We'll move my Dunkin' Donuts drink out of the way. You see all of this? Sneak peek, I'm not ready yet. All right, don't ask me about any of this stuff yet, but I'm working on it. I've got the photographs taken, and I'm gonna be listing, not that glass vase, the Mosier vase, not that. But all the other deco that you see here is gonna be coming up, and it won't be in a live sale. It'll be listed in the old Curiosity Shop store on eBay, so you have to know that I am still listing good things in the eBay store, as well as choosing things for the live sales that I do twice a month. And I appreciate everyone who participates and joins in on those live sales. I do them twice a month, the 1st and the 3rd Monday of each month. The second Monday of each month, it's two chaps, David and I, David from Texas, Uprising, Texas. We do a little show together on Monday nights at 9 o'clock, second Monday of each month. That's just once a month. So I thought I would plug all of those things. Okay, that's it. It's all in the eBay store. What do you like? What was your favorite? I have to tell you right there, the frogs, as far as I'm concerned, they win the prize for me today. But there are a lot of seconds to me, a lot of pieces here that could have been tied for first. Thanks for watching, everybody. Who knows where the snake plant will be next time? You'll have to tune in and find out. Okay, that's it. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop, saying thanks for watching. Wait for the cat. And so long for now. Now, where am I going to eat my dinner? Oh, my word.